Hey everybody, I'm back with something a little different. So I'm not reviewing one individual movie. I'm kind of reviewing sort of a box set. This is going to be a sort of smaller review of each one. So this is the Arrow Academy Family Values box set by Hirokazu Koreeda. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm sorry if it's wrong. Um, I've been wanting to get this for a while. I managed to get it on an Arrow sale for about £25, I think it was, which is probably the lowest you're gonna get it. I think there was a proper box set, thicker one with an individual box for each film. I think it's out of print now, but I managed to get this, which fair enough. So the films that are contained in here are a film called I Wish, Like Father, Like Son, and After the Storm. Each one of them deals with sort of family issues. And you can tell it's the same director. He's got a very unique style of writing, something that you would never really see in Western culture, in terms of its sort of writing. And I feel like these are films anyone can watch. They're PG, so there doesn't deal with sort of, swear words or anything. It deals with adult issues, but at the same time, I feel like a child could watch this and understand. I think it's very easy to understand. Especially the first movie. So the first one is called I Wish, and it's about these two kids that are separated because their mum and dad have divorced and they're living in different places. And basically one of them finds out that when two bullet trains pass each other, there's this sort of magical thing that happens and they can make a wish that'll come true. And so they go on this wee adventure to go to that exact point where the two bullet trains are going to meet and make a wish. I wish. It's probably my least favourite of the three, to be honest. I wasn't really a huge fan of it. I did like the sort of kids going on an adventure aspect because that kind of thing's very nostalgic to me. Because when I was younger, back in the 90s, and we didn't really have mobile phones and internet wasn't as big as it is now. I didn't get internet until like in the 2000s at some point. We just go on our bikes and go on an adventure. And thinking back on it now, it's quite weird because today I'd be terrified if I let my kid go off in random places. But back then, no one cared. It was good. It was good fun. I miss those kind of days. And so I like watching films kind of like them, sort of set in the 80s or 90s. And this film kind of takes me back. It's obviously not set in that time period, but it does take me back because it's just these kids, they get on a train, they go on an adventure. No adults. Brilliant. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I think it was just the story in general and the characters I liked sort of bits, but not all of it, and it felt very long. And that's sort of the thing with a lot of his films. There's no sort of epic moments, if that makes sense. It's all very sort of monotone through the whole way through it, and I feel like that might not be great for some people. Some people might not like that, because it can feel like it drags at certain times, and they do feel quite long. Like Father Like Son, at one point I thought it was going to end, and it just kept going, and I was like, oh, okay, it hasn't been 2 hours yet. And each one's about 2 hours long. Like Father Like Son is such a good film. Such a good film. It's about these parents who find out that their child was accidentally swapped as a baby with another child. And so they meet up with his family. So they have their son. And it just makes you question everything. Like, what is family? What is your child? Is it your blood? And this is the sort of problem the father goes through. Our main character, I can't remember, I don't know the names, unfortunately. But he's trying to figure out what he should do. His real son, he's got his blood, is with another family. And that family, although not as wealthy as him, are enjoying their lives and enjoying what they have. Money isn't a concern. Education is a concern. They just love each other and have fun. So you got two very different families as well, and it's just how things impact the child. It's almost like it doesn't focus too much on the child, but the adults who are caring for them instead. And you kind of put yourself in the mindset of both the father, mother, or child, um, depending on who you are. And I was thinking, as a child, that would terrify me. I don't want to go live with another family, even if I found out I was, say, adopted or I was swapped at birth. These people took care of me, and they would be my parents. So being swapped would be horrible. I'm not gonna say what happens in it. And to be actually honest, I actually forgot the ending. I only watched a few days ago, and I've actually forgot. And that wasn't because I was bored. I can't remember. I don't know what happened. Um, so I might be able to watch it again at some point and still enjoy it. But just it put a lot of ideas in my head, like what would you do in that situation? It's just the idea. I mean, you may not want to swap your child, but just knowing would be a weird feeling. Obviously, I don't know how that feels. It never happened to me, but you kind of it invites you into its world to try and feel. These kind of films make you question family, and what's really important about family and what's really important about life, and that's why I kind of like these films. The next one is called After the Storm. Now, I read a description. I think I've read the wrong one. I think it's a different film he did. I think it's Knowing, maybe, where this man finds this child and he kind of adopts him. That's what I thought this was about. And I was like, where's the child he adopts? Turns out I was reading a different description altogether. I don't know what an already I was going, this is really dragging this bit out. When's this other kid going to appear? No, it's about two divorced parents again. The man is a sort of gambling addict. He can't hold down a job. He's wrote a book, but he can't write anymore. And he's a, what do you call it? Private detective. And he's trying to rekindle a relationship with his wife. He's constantly obsessed. He's constantly asking questions to his son about, what she's at, because she's out with a new guy and all this here. That's really the story. There isn't really sort of a plot. It's just about him and his life and how he's just wasting his money and trying to pay child support. That's his main focus, is to spend time with his son. And so, excuse me, he has this really awkward relationship with everyone in his life because he's just obsessed with money. Because he just keeps gambling it away, and at the same time he wants to have money. So I think a lot of people can relate to someone like that. There is a lot of issues with gambling and people being addicted to it. I know people are addicted to gambling. And it's horrible. It's horrible watching them, and I'm sure it's horrible being one. So I think, a lot of people can just think about it that way in terms of they may know someone or they may be. But again, there's no sort of epic moments. Everything sort of feels realistic. It feels very slowly paced, but that's kind of why it works. It's not coming out with these epic sort of massive moments, because those would just take you out and make you like, this is definitely a movie. These feel more realistic. These feel like they could happen. And again, I love that it deals with real issues, and it doesn't try and make it doesn't use a lot of sort of adult themes in terms of like swearing and sex and things like that there. Anyone can watch these films and understand what's going on. They're easy to understand. Kids could watch them and understand. That's why I like these. He makes family films for family, but they deal with adult themes in terms of what families go through that obviously we don't want to happen, like addiction in the family, divorce, and things like that there. And it deals with them in a very adult manner in terms of it doesn't try and wash it down or over explain things or get all lovey dovey and things like that there. It just shows you it straight, and that's it. Which is what I like. So if you're a fan of Japanese cinema, I really recommend these. He also made another one called Shoplifters, which I have somewhere up there, which is another great film. All he makes is family films, as far as I know. I've only seen 4, and all of them have to do with family. As far as I know, that's the kind of films he makes, and I'll probably end up trying to find more. I'm trying to get Knowing on Blu-ray, but it's quite tricky, that one. But I'm glad I got this set. If you can get it for £25 on Arrow, I'd pick it up. If you like Japanese cinema like I do, I love Asian cinema. Well, Japanese, Korean mostly. Because it is a great wee box set to have. And the artwork's quite nice, and even the discs are quite nice. I don't know if that's... I haven't got autofocus on. I don't use autofocus. So yeah, pick that up if you can. And thanks for watching. I'm not going to give these films an overall rating, or maybe I will. No, I won't. Okay. I have my ratings on Letterboxd. Thanks for watching. Keep watching my videos. Peace out.